of stuck here. The cops won't bother me. Well, squids, I just picked up a new motorcycle. This is completely different, and yeah, I got it for free. I can't believe it. Check it out. It's a 1985 Honda Shadow. Let's look around. It was awesome. Thanks to Johnny, I managed to get this today. It needs some work. Doesn't start. I don't have the key, but I do have the title, and that's the best part about it. But I wanted to show you guys before I start working on it, and hopefully I can get this thing running. But it's a fantastic looking bike. It's got some problems. Tires are dry rotted. That's to be expected. The bike sat for a very long time, and it's got rust, surface rust on the forks. So, and you know, that's one of these things that, look at this, and the brake lines, they're doing something really strange here. I don't know what they're doing, but it shouldn't be this weirdly routed. I'll have to look at that. And there's rust all over here. Look at that, highway pegs. This is cool, really cool. It's missing the plastic here. Oh, that's kind of odd. So these are your foot pegs. You kind of rest easy rider style with your legs forward. And this is, I guess, an additional peg, so you can feel a little bit sportier. I don't know. Then there's the passenger foot pegs there. And there is another key for lifting up. Oh, I guess it's just the helmet holder. But it won't work because I don't have the ignition key. Missing a blinker. This is a little bit loose. The bike sat outside for a very long time, so this is what happens. It's a cool V-twin. V-twin, the carburetor is right up here. Spark plugs are really easy to access. I never had a cruiser style bike, so I'm kind of curious about it. I have ridden cruisers before, but this is going to be like my easy rider project. Might even paint it. But this is kind of cool. I do like the rat sort of look. And I mean this. Oh, this is the hydraulic clutch. Oh, that's pretty cool. Hydraulic clutch. Not even a cable. It's got a radiator, I guess. And that's the exhaust coming from the thing. Here's another problem, is that the brake master cylinder, the hole for the sight glass is completely gone. It's been sitting around, so the brakes actually still stop a little, but of course you can't really ride it like that. So one thing that we're gonna have to do is, since the key for the ignition is gone, that's going to be gone too. So we are going to have to be removing this, empty it all out. Very interesting looking bike. It needs a lot of work. Electric start. Missing blinkers, but look at that. Shaft drive. Now that's really cool. And of course, I don't know exactly what's happening with that. We're going to have to figure out. But, you know, that's kind of like a big project. I just thought this would be kind of cool to do a video before I start working on the bike. I'll have to price some things out. It's really cool. Look at that, the carburetor. So this bike is going to be living in a nice heated garage, which is going to be good for it. Whenever you have a bike and you store it outside, things tend to happen. So if you don't have a garage, not a good idea, but and then the surface rust starts to appear a lot. A lot of the new modern bikes don't have this problem. This one has 17,000 miles. Not a lot of miles for a Honda. So you have your start button on off. So what happened with this, he was riding it 5 months ago, and then it just kind of quit on the highway. And I think it might be the rectifier, because he said that he just had a new battery put on. So this will make a good beginner bike. So let's go ahead and get started and just start tearing into it. And I think this is a very popular bike. I don't know much about these Honda Shadow 750s, but they are very sought after. But of course, you have to put in some maintenance. I really wish I could get into the gas tank and just kind of remove everything, but this bike is going to require quite a bit of work. And one of the things that's really popular with this bike is turning it into a bobber. And I don't think I like that style. I would prefer some sort of scrambler type of bike. I'll probably just leave it as is. The only reason I would change things out would be if somehow, oh look at that, the brake fluid is dripping down. So I guess it's still got some fluid in there, but not enough. I definitely have to order a new one, and I don't know if it's going to be something that's going to be easy to put. But there's a few problems here and there. I think it's also missing something to strap the. It's got so much pace, so simple, such a simple looking bike. The forks are so large. It's like when you see one of these cruisers up front, there's something really cool about it because there's like nothing. There's no plastic to, get in the way of working on the bike. Look how easy it is to get to the spark plugs. That's it. You got to admire that. And I usually don't get cruisers because I don't really know too much about them. Let's go ahead and just sit on it. So I'm just going to... Oh yeah, it's comfortable. Oh yeah. Man, this thing is actually quite comfortable. But my knees do hit this thing in a very weird position. Sure, I'm not really wearing the proper gear, but very comfortable seat. It actually kind of holds me together pretty well. And then you got like the highway pads. Look at that, like a boss. Man, I could ride like this. Man, that's kind of cool. But, so the shifting is like really high up. And you got your rear brake panel, and then this. Oh, this thing is just so you can ride more like a standard bike, but you can't really shift. But I guess, I think there's nothing really wrong with this position. It's a very strangely handling bike at low speed. I don't really know what it's like to ride it. But it's comfortable. It seems like a bigger bike than it is. Like when you sit on it, it feels like a much bigger bike. But it's a 750, and it feels heavy when you're moving it. But I think a lot has to do with the weirdly shaped handlebars that I usually don't use. I prefer those type of handlebars. But I wonder if I could just get different ones. But that's going to create a very different position on the bike. And I think if you're going to get a cruiser, you might as well get something like this. And of course, if you're into the cruiser life, it makes sense to buy something that's a Honda that's reliable. This one, it needs some work, but we got this for free, so how can we complain, right? And it's so funny, I've gotten 2 bikes for free this month. This Honda Shadow 750 and the Ninja 250. And yeah, I don't normally get free bikes. This is like an odd event. Maybe the coronavirus is making people interested in getting rid of motorcycles. I'll probably do the same thing. If I didn't have a garage space and I had no ability to work on my bikes, I would probably give it away as well. Because this bike, it's not, if it was working condition and perfect, it might cost $1,500 maybe. I mean, that's a high mark on the bike. So in order to get this bike up into running condition, you're going to have to spend a lot of money and time. But most of the time it's time, because working on this and getting it all specced out, you have to remove everything. You have to remove the gas tank. You have to clean the gas tank. If there's rust inside the gas tank, you're going to have to clean it all out. And sometimes you have to get new gas tanks. And of course the parts are not really readily available for these sort of bikes. So you're really going to have to spend a lot of time sourcing things out. And this one is a first for me. I've never fixed up a Honda 750 from 1985. and it's going to be a learning process for me. So I'm going to be making videos of the process on the YouTube channel. So just keep in touch if you want to learn how to do it. I don't know how to do it, so I'm going to be on YouTube researching and ordering parts, but I'll take you along for the ride. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.